Have you ever had that unsettling feeling that maybe, just maybe, those ancient prophecies, the ones people whisper about, are more than just old stories? What if the Antichrist, that most shadowy and feared figure in biblical prophecy, isn't just a legend, but someone we're yet to encounter? Tonight, we're not just retelling familiar tales. We're exploring texts that have been overlooked and fitting together some startling clues that give us a pretty disturbing picture of this master of lies. For thousands of years, the idea of the Antichrist has both troubled and fascinated people, from theologians to everyday believers. Who is this mysterious character, said to show up at the end of time? Well, ancient writings, from the famous book of Revelation to John's often missed letters and Daniel's prophecies, actually hold some surprising clues. In this video, we're going to look closely at these sacred texts. We'll uncover the hidden traits and the chilling prophesied identity of this ultimate deceiver. We'll see how this figure is described not just as an enemy, but as a clever fake, a political and spiritual force set to mislead the entire world. You know the term Antichrist itself? It first pops up in the New Testament, specifically in John's letters. What's really interesting is that John talks about many antichrists already around in his day. These were people who denied the basic truths about Jesus Christ. This shows us that the spirit of Antichrist, this force of opposition and deception against God, has actually been at work for centuries. But, and this is key, these same scriptures, along with other prophetic books, also point to one single ultimate figure of opposition who will appear before the final judgment. This isn't just any old enemy. This is the Antichrist, an individual who will represent the absolute peak of rebellion against God. So, while that spirit of Antichrist is a constant theme, what we're zeroing in on are the specific characteristics of this final prophesied person. One of the most consistent and frankly alarming clues the Bible gives us is the Antichrist's incredible ability to deceive. He won't just show up looking like an obvious monster. Instead, the scriptures suggest he'll rise as an incredibly charismatic and politically savvy figure. Daniel 8:25 mentions that he'll make deceit prosper, and through peace, he'll destroy many. It's likely he'll emerge during a time of global chaos, offering solutions and a false sense of security that will absolutely mesmerize nations. The Apostle Paul, in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, gives a stark warning. This man of lawlessness will arrive with all power, signs, and lying wonders. Can you imagine that? Miracles that look divine, speeches that promise unity and peace, all designed to fool even the sharpest minds. This talent for deception is the very foundation of his power, pulling the world under his spell. Biblical prophecies consistently show the Antichrist as a dominant political and spiritual leader. The books of Daniel and Revelation describe him leading a powerful global empire, a sort of revived superpower on the world stage. Revelation 13:7 even says he'll be given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. But his ambition doesn't just stop at political control. Oh no, this figure will demand to be worshipped. 2 Thessalonians 2:4 gives us a chilling insight. He will oppose and lift himself up above every so-called god or object of worship, even to the point of sitting in God's temple and declaring himself to be God. This is the ultimate act of blasphemy, the man of lawlessness, not just rejecting God, but trying to take his place. He'll speak arrogant and blasphemous things against the Most High, and he'll try to change established laws and sacred times to cement his own rule. So, where do we find the most direct clues? Several key biblical passages are packed with them. The book of Daniel, especially chapters 7 and 11, describes a future ruler who's arrogant, blasphemous, and a fierce persecutor of those who are faithful. He's a king who will do as he wills. He will exalt himself and magnify himself above every god. Paul's second letter to the Thessalonians is also vital. He calls the Antichrist the man of lawlessness and the son of destruction, whose arrival is supernaturally powered by Satan. This passage really highlights his deceptive signs and his audacious claim to be divine. And of course, you can't discuss the Antichrist without getting into the book of Revelation, particularly chapter 13. It paints such a vivid picture of the beast. This beast comes up from the sea, empowered by the dragon, who is Satan, and holds enormous global authority. He performs great signs, fools the people of the earth, and wages war against the saints. Revelation also talks about a mark, a sign of allegiance that he'll demand, and without it, no one can buy or sell. When you put all these texts together, they describe someone of unparalleled evil and deceptive power. So, when we connect all these biblical clues, who is this Antichrist? He's not just some political troublemaker or a charismatic cult leader, though he might have those qualities. The biblical Antichrist is much more than that. He's a specific individual, empowered by Satan, who will rise to global political and religious control. He'll be a genius of deception, using fake peace and what look like miracles to win the world's adoration. He'll be completely lawless, eventually claiming to be God himself and demanding worship. He will persecute anyone who refuses his authority and denies the true Christ. His reign, as terrifying as it sounds, is prophesied to be short-lived, coming just before the ultimate return of Christ. We've walked through some pretty ancient texts and uncovered a consistent, and let's be honest, chilling profile. A deceptive mastermind, a political giant, a spiritual fraud, and a ruthless persecutor. The Bible doesn't give us a name, a date of birth, or a nationality. Instead, it gives us characteristics and actions to look out for. Understanding these prophecies isn't about spreading fear. It's about being discerning and spiritually ready. The scriptures urge us to be vigilant, to hold on to truth, especially in a world where deception can be incredibly sophisticated. What are your thoughts on these biblical clues? Are there other scriptures or characteristics you find particularly compelling or even a bit frightening? I'd love to hear your insights in the comments below. Let's discuss this respectfully and thoughtfully. If you found this exploration interesting, please give this video a like, subscribe for more explorations of biblical mysteries, and share it with others who are trying to understand these profound prophecies. The figure of the Antichrist is, without a doubt, one of the most sobering prophecies in the Bible. While interpretations can differ, the scriptures offer a clear warning about a future deception unlike anything seen before. By understanding these ancient clues, perhaps we can better navigate the complexities of our own times, staying anchored in faith and aware of the spiritual struggles described in these sacred texts. Thank you for watching.